Hello again, guys. A little while back, a company called Divoom reached out to me and asked if I was interested in taking a look at a couple of their Bluetooth speakers. And I have them here in front of me. This is the Voombox Party, and this is the Aurabox Lite. As you can see, they are wireless Bluetooth speakers. This one's actually still running. And I thought I'd just take a couple of minutes and sort of go over the pros and cons of each one. Looking over at the Divoom site very quickly, it says that the Aurabox is capable of 6 hours of playback time, and the Voombox is capable of 8 hours of playback. And they both take about 3 to 4 hours to recharge. The times that I've been using these, I've actually just been using them plugged into USB the entire time because I'm not really in need to carry a Bluetooth speaker around with me all the time. Talking for just a minute about the Voombox Party itself, it's very substantial, very thick, very heavy. It's probably a couple of pounds. They say that it's water resistant. As you can see, it does have this little section over all the plugs here on the side, so you can sort of keep the water out of it. I wouldn't necessarily submerge it or anything, but it should be able to take a little bit of a splash. And this thing can really pump out some sound. I hooked it up the other day, hooked it to my desktop here, turned it on, and my wife just immediately said, "Whoa, that thing's loud," because I went from one speaker to the other, and this one puts out a lot more power. It's got a 20-watt speaker in it, it's 2.1 sound, A2DP, lots and lots of letters and numbers. You can find all the specs over on their site, but this thing is a beast, puts out lots and lots of sound. It's Bluetooth, and it can do 3.5mm input. You can supposedly do phone calls through it, but I'm not sure why you would want to do phone calls through a speaker, so I haven't even bothered to try that. There's one thing I will say about it though, one slightly little bit of a downside. When I use it as a Bluetooth speaker, it has a bit of a hiss to it. And it's a hiss whenever there's sound going on. So as soon as the sound stops, about 2 to 3 seconds later, that hiss will stop. But it lets you know that it's there. And if there's any sort of places with silence in the video you're watching or the music you're listening to, you're gonna hear some hiss from the speaker. And it's not necessarily because it's turned up too loud, because I've tried it turning it down. I've tried turning it down on the other end, and it has a bit of a hiss to it. Doesn't really get that much in the way of it. I like the way this speaker sounds. It is a great one. And as far as the Aurabox, this thing is just a really neat concept. It has a glossy front on it, so it does tend to collect some fingerprints, but on the front of it, you see here, it has a light panel, and you can sort of do whatever you want to with this. It does have a few preset modes. There's a button on the top you can hit to switch between them. See, we've got a clock, we've got a thermometer, we've got the whole yellow color, and cycling through these go to different things, and they kind of change if you're actually listening to music at the time. There you go. Now I've got a little bit of music, royalty-free music playing, so you can see what it does there. Now when I switch over, it does this, has a little bit of a thing that changes there. Got this little thing that scrolls across. Got the little spinning wheel, and you've got some numbers there, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're off. And then back to the clock. And when you hit the power button, you can see the current battery level for just a second. All right, we'll go ahead and stop that. And the really cool thing about it is you can pair this up with your smartphone and actually control what you see on here. You can put additional animations on it, you can put different LED layouts on it, or you can even draw on the screen. You can sort of make it look exactly how you want, which I find to be very cool. It also has that 3.5mm input on the back if you're so inclined to use it that way. And this thing's been an awful lot of fun to use, and it's a nice little conversation piece. I put it on the background there, and I've had several people ask in the comment section what this is and how it works. Puts out a decent amount of sound, puts out good sounding sound, but it's not nearly as loud or as room packing as the Voombox itself. And the sort of weird thing about it is the speaker on it, you can see on the front, this is plastic, there's no speaker there. No speaker, no speaker. Oh, it's all on the back. So basically wherever you have this pointing, the opposite direction is where all the sound is going to be pumping. So you're going to want to have something behind it to kind of reflect that sound back at you, or you're just going to be sending the sound away. Now this one does not have any buttons on it or anything for phone calls, so I'm guessing it can't be used as a speaker, although it does look like it has a microphone on it. Again, I don't use speakers as Bluetooth headsets for phones, so I just don't test those things. And the other sort of issue with this one is, and I talked to the company about it, this has 2 Bluetooth receivers in it. One to control the lights, one to control the speaker. And because it has 2 and it's having to power 2 of those, it means the sound isn't going to be 100% in sync. So for example, if you have it hooked up to a desktop and you're trying to watch a video with it, the sound is always going to be behind, which means it's going to be out of sync, which kind of sucks. However, for just listening to music or something, it's not a big deal at all. Sounds great. So I would highly recommend it for that. But if you're going to be using it with a desktop, if you're going to be using it with any sort of a media device where you want to watch videos, it's going to be about a half a second out of sync. So just keep that in mind. The Voombox Party, I have not seen that issue with. I have a little bit of a hiss out of it, but I have not seen it out of sync at all. This is excellent for listening to music. This is excellent for watching videos, except for that little bit of a hiss. So there's a little bit of a gotcha to both of them. Other than those 2 little gotchas, they are excellent speakers, and they seem to be reasonably priced over on Amazon. I will have links down in the video description to where you can find them. And they come with a handful of accessories, just like any speaker, but you get audio cables and USB cables and packaging and materials and documentation and everything like that. And the app for the Aurabox is actually very neat. Like I said, you can get in there and you can actually draw on the screen, make it look however you like, download new animations, download new pictures for it, but you have to have the phone connected in order to actually have those things on the screen. You can't really see it right now because of the time of day, but I am in military time. It should not be in military time. I think using the app, you can actually change that. And then when I switch over here, I'm in Celsius. I would not normally be, I'd be in Fahrenheit. But again, I'm not connected using the app right now, so it's not going to be doing that. So that's a little bit of a bummer, a little bit of a weirdness. But other than that, I mean, just the stock animations, the stock screens that come on it are very cool. It would be kind of nice to have a larger version of this if you were having a party or something. This one's like 4 or 5 inches on a side. To have something that's like 12 inches on a side, you know, a big panel that you could set up and have as a boombox, that would be very, very cool. But for what it is, it's a very nice little thing, and I actually have really enjoyed having this as a speaker on my desk. Like I said, it's a very nice conversation piece, and you can even download things like an Android logo to put in the background of your videos if you were so inclined. But again, thanks so much to Divoom for sending both of these out for review. Thanks to you guys for watching. Links to both of them can be found down in the video description. Remember to thumbs up this video if you like this video and subscribe to receive more videos when they become available, and I'll see you again next time.